When you want to program in a series of letters to spell out a name, add a date, or create your own quilt label, the programming of this machine is fairly simple. So let's start off by going over to the alphabet tab, and you'll notice that you've got 4 alphabets, but 3 of them are actually American styling. So if you are looking for a simple one, try the first one. So if I wanted to put my name in, S-A-R-A, capital letters come up first, but by changing this little, touch the bottom box here, and you will get lowercase letters. And of course, if you put something that you don't want in there, there is a delete. And notice there's a little arrow in the bottom of that delete icon that points down and to the right. So if I touch and hold that, that would be a place to delete all stitches. So I'll just do a quick check mark there. And I'll show you, you also have other symbols for other languages and more numbers and punctuation. So depending on which screen you actually have showing, that's what you'll get. And this guy right here, this kind of upside down little staple looking guy, that's your space. So if you did want to put more than one letter in, or word, you can go ahead and use that and create the space for the next word. I'm going to go ahead and leave that out. But before I go and stitch this and show you how it works, you can actually add a few other things. You can add a tie-off, and I'll just put it in there and I'll lock it at the end of that letter. And I could also add the little thread snip. So once you start it, when it's done, it'll end for you. And if I wanted to decide to put that little locking stitch before I start, I could go back by arrowing and add that in at the beginning. So when I'm done, I'll go ahead and touch the check mark. And as you can see, the sequence turns sideways because that's exactly how it's going to stitch. People always ask me, well, where do I orient my fabric? Do I have it going left to right or up or down? And it is, it's up and down. So all you have to do, and I'll just add this to what I've been playing with, is I'll just go ahead and push the start button, because once it starts, then everything will just go ahead and continue. And since I did put, I didn't put the stop in there. So I do have to make sure that I put the scissors. Let's see what I'll get here. I think I needed to put the stop. Let's see here. It's locking, it's cutting, and does it stop? It did. Okay, I thought that's what I was going to do, but obviously I wanted to double check. But it's a nice, easy to read alphabet because that is 9 millimeters tall. Usually what I like to do is use all capital letters if I have the space. If I don't have the space, then maybe I'll use a combination of uppercase and lowercase, but sometimes those lowercase letters get kind of small. I like to be able to easily read that. And hey, look, variegated thread kind of makes it a little bit fun and really pops off this dark denim color. So when I want to go back in, I can come back into like the sequencing area, and I can touch and hold the trash can, and I can also delete all those stitches and then start again with a combination of letters of my choice. Now, just because you're putting letters in does not mean that you can't combine them with other stitches. So if I wanted to add a heart at the end, I could come over to category 4, decorative stitches, and in the subcategory 4, arrow down, there's some hearts. So if I wanted a heart at the beginning and the end, I could add that back in there. And there, now we have a new sequence with some decorative stitches, so you can combine letters and decorative stitches at any given time. Now, if you want to save the combination that you have just made, that's where the little folder is with the arrow pointing into it. And it says Save to Personal Menu, Category 7, Page 1. So if I just touch it, then it's there. And that will save it. So what I can do is, when I'm ready to find stitches that I've actually saved, that is the heart that you've probably been seeing. And I can come back in, pull it back up, and be able to stitch it at a later time after I've turned the machine off. And days later, I can come back and it's still there. If I want to delete it out of my memory, go back into the saved folder, touch the picture for the trash can, and it'll say delete is active. Touch any position to clear. So if I just touch that, it'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? The check mark would be okay, and now it is not saved in my machine anymore. So easy to add things in, and then when you're done with them, easy to remove them with the trash can.